Hey guys, how's it going? It's Orit here. I have another awesome book to share with you guys, and this time I am talking about High Performance Habits by Brendon Burchard. So happy and excited to talk to you about this book today, and let's get started. All right, so some of you guys may know I absolutely love reading personal development books, and Brendon is someone that I've seen for a long time online. And, here and there I would see his videos, I would hear about the books that he's writing, that sort of thing, but I guess I never really connected with him very much, that I just really didn't pay attention to his books. But most recently, I kept seeing this book everywhere, everywhere. It was like the universe wanted, like, it was pushing it in my face and was like, hey, you gotta read this book. I would go outside for a walk and I would see it lying on a bench, sitting next to somebody. I would go to the bookstore and I'd go up the escalators. That's the first book I see. It was just, it was something that I couldn't ignore. And so I bought it. High Performance Habits, and I can totally see why there is a craze about this book. Not just a craze, but a whole revolution around it, because I think what Brendon has done is really simplified high performance, really simplified achieving long-term success, because there are so many factors and variables and a ton of things related to one's long-term success and high performance in their area. It could be luck, it could be timing, it could be, meeting the right people, it could be personality, it could be genetics, it could be just so many things, right? And I think the fact that Brendon became obsessed with this whole topic, like what makes a high performer really a high performer? What makes them successful? Are they superhuman? Do they have these genes that no one else does? Are they born with certain talents? He even ended up starting his own high performance institute, research institute, where he scientifically backs up all of his findings. So what is this book about? Basically, the premise is that Brendon says that there's no sort of superhuman element to being a high performer. There's nothing that is outside of your reach, per se. There's nothing that you need to be born with or anything like that. It just comes down to the fact that high performers have mastered, whether by accident or whether purposefully, they have mastered 6 habits, which he calls high performance habits. And he says that the only difference between regular people and high performers is the fact that they've mastered these 6 habits. And this is what really led to their long-term success. Now, what are these 6 habits? The first one is seeking clarity. So high performers are absolutely clear on who they want to be in every single moment of their lives. When they're showing up for a meeting, when they're showing up for practice, when they are with their family members, they are absolutely clear on who they want to be and what they want to achieve. So clarity is a habit that he talks about. Second habit is generating energy. High performers have a way of maintaining their energy and their mental stamina and their physical stamina throughout their day. They have a habit of doing this so that they don't plummet or run out of energy or feel, wasted by the day. They have their own ways of staying on their A game consistently. The third habit is raising necessity. So high performers have a habit of just believing that success is a must, like it's ingrained, it's their duty. They must fulfill this higher level of who they want to achieve, meaning higher level of themselves. This is the person that they want to grow into, and they absolutely make that a necessity. Performing well is not an option, it's a necessity for them. So Brendon talks about, to emulate these high performers, you really have to really dig deep into your why and why are you striving for your goals? Why are you wanting success? And to really connect to that. The fourth habit is productivity. So high performers they're excellent at being productive at the things that that matter. So not just being productive and keeping busy and getting things done, but getting the things done that actually really matter towards moving them forward in their goals. So he has something called the PQO, which is the prolific quality output. And Brendon says that high performers identify what their prolific quality output is, meaning they identify this thing that they should be working on. This particular thing is what will move them forward the most in their career, in their goals, in their lives. So Brendon talks about how to identify that PQO and how to use that, how to put that into action. Throughout the entire book, for all of these habits, by the way, for each habit, he has 3 practices that he shares with you. And these practices are intended for you to put into action so that you can get into the habit of seeking clarity, generating energy, raising necessity, all of these things. That's one of the things I really, really liked about this book, is that it's filled with not only case studies and validation, scientific validation behind everything that he's saying. He explains it in such a simple way to understand. He talks about these habits and he gives you exercises to do that will shift you into that world, that will help you get into those habits that he calls high performance habits. So the 5th habit that he talks about is developing influence. He talks about how high performers actively develop a positive social network. As he says, without this, high performance achievement is not possible. And the 6th thing that he talks about is developing courage. So high performers have a habit of not shying away from challenges. They actually really love challenges. They love those things that put them in a place of maybe fear a little bit or doubt, because they look at it as a problem that needs to be solved and they get excited about it. So they have this courage, this form of courage that allows them to persevere. And it can be as big as, making a bold move, a bold action, or as little as just expressing your true thoughts and feelings. So, and that's one of the activities, by the way, that goes along with demonstrating courage, is that Brendon talks about making it a habit to ask yourself if you've expressed your real, authentic self today, like if you've expressed true ideas from you, because sometimes, in our world, we might say things that we think other people want to hear, or to protect ourselves. So I really like this book because it just simplifies things so much into these 6 habits that you can work on, and it makes it achievable for absolutely anyone to work on. I got this book towards the end of 2018. At the time of recording this video, it's April 2019. And I can tell you, this has truly affected my business. Not just income, which it has, but just mental stamina, just opportunities that are showing up in my life right now. And, I can't directly say that it's from this, but it definitely had a huge impact on me and in my life. And it's not just because I read it and then forgot about it and put it away. I read it and I actually did make it a habit to practice these habits that I learned about, to put reminders in my phone, to write things in my journal or agenda. And I think what Brendon has shared with us in this book is just absolutely, is absolutely genius. And I love it that everything in this book, which is all about how extraordinary people become that way, is because of these 6 things that are under your control. They improve your performance more than anything else that Brendon and his team has measured. And the cool thing about this is that you can take his assessment online and see where you're at before you read the book. See where you're at in terms of each of those habits. You can fill out a little quiz online that he has on his site, and he rates you based on how you answer the questions. He rates where you're at with each of those habits. And the idea here is to improve your score on each of those habits. So the cool thing was that I took that in the very beginning of the book, which he says in the beginning of the book to do that. He gives you the link in the book. He says to go and do that. And then at the end of the book, and once you've also had a chance to practice some of the habits, you can then go and take that again and see how your score has improved. So this book is really cool. I can sit here raving about it for a long time, but my voice is kind of going because this is about the 5th video that I filmed today. So I'm going to end it here, guys. Thank you so much for listening. Let me know if you've read the book and what your thoughts are about it. If you haven't read it, please go get it. It will really create a deep impact in your life if you are into this kind of thing. I'm going to put the link in the description below so you can just order it on Amazon, which is what I did. Alright guys, well thank you so much for listening. If you liked this video, please give it a thumbs up, leave me a comment down below, or subscribe to the channel for more awesome stuff coming your way. Thank you guys so much for watching, and I will see you in the next one. Bye. Back from the dead.